Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be on a Sunday night. Where tonight, live and exclusive on Top Split TV, we are bringing you round four of the Sunday Night Lights. This week, the hottest skippy action in town heads to the Suzuka Grand Prix layout this season. I'm your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me once again is the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, it's another big week of skippy action for sure.
It definitely is, Alex, and we have a bumper crop of 20 cars to take the track. Nice, decent strength of field here at a 40.69. And we even have the return of our own esports V8 supercar driver, Brenton Hobson, in the 8 car, Alex.
Yeah, Brendan Hobson out there on track at the moment, as you say, in the 8 car. Great to see him out there. Of course, the latest we saw him apart from on his stream, Hobbo88, is the rear of the car. Let's go. Not uncommon through turn one and the early laps in these cars was, of course, we saw Hobson on the esports series, as you say, driving the V8s most recently.
Yeah, and he didn't have the best of times there in the V8s. Hopefully, he can have some better luck here in our little Skippy series. Quite admittedly, this is a bad track for him, so hopefully he can pull out a decent result as we can see him warming up his tires. We also have the return of Mitchell McLeod in the 16 car here tonight, so a lower number for him, which is something that we're not used to seeing, Alex, but he's been doing quite well for himself lately.
Yeah, absolutely. Comes in with an I rating of 36.11, which is, still fairly decent, but only just sneaking into this field, I should say, of 20. Up the top of the pops is the returning Redface Racing team driver of Julian O'Fray, leading us out. And, of course, his teammate at Redface Racing, Sasha Gourlay. These two have had the first three rounds sewn up between them and looking to continue the run of Redface Racing, no doubt here tonight. We do, of course, have the Top Split Racing team represented with Mr. Tim Gorkrocher out of the booth and on the track tonight. Had a rough ride in the race leading into this, the warm-up race tonight, but through no fault of his own, a big accident. But looking to make amends out there tonight. Another famous skivvy driver, of course, Mr. Johansson representing Geodesic Racing. Car number 7, he's got the pace to burn here, though, as he's shown throughout the week on his stream, Corey.
Yeah, indeed, Alex, and he's definitely going to be one to keep an eye out for. He was in the top 3 for pretty much the entirety of the last race, the warm-up race to this one. We're coming through 130R here on the exit. He went a little bit too far onto the curbing and spun out in front of the field. Hopefully, he can improve on that today and not make the same mistake 2 races in a row, but we'll just have to wait and see. We also, in the 6 car, have Sammy J. Toykala representing Team Milo. He won that last race in quite convincing fashion, being the 3rd car in line and missing the crash that was set off by Dennis there, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. The 130R in this version of the Skip Barber car is treacherous, no doubt. But also, there's a little bump on the exit curbing that'll set the car a cropper as well. So that's caught young Mr. Johansson out last race. But Mr. Toy Carla there, last season's SNL winner and, of course, official season winner, took home the chocolates after that little incident, making sure that his patience was rewarded, of course. Great to see Ben Snell out there, car number 11 tonight, representing Team Milo, of course. Team Milo almost taking out half the field in terms of the representation here tonight. The second of their drivers actually sitting P4 after his opening lap is Luke Whitten. Great to see Luke back right up near the pointy end of the fields, hoping he can get a good result. I think he had a podium earlier in the season, and I'm hoping that he can progress with similar results. It is also good to see the leader of Team Milo, Russell Clark, sneaking into this field as car number 20. Last car in the field. Great to see him there. Though the final Team Milo driver, there's plenty of them. One spoonful for each of them in a glass of milk would go all right there. It's John Scholz, the naturalised Australian in car 19. So expect to see a lot from Team Milo here tonight, Corey.
Well, one guy that you forgot to mention there, Alex, was the 10 car of Ben Snell, also a Milo driver. Incredible race for him in the warm up race to this one. Started 12th with a mistake on his second lap in qualifying and managed to fight his way through the field, missing all the wrecks to finish in second place, Alex.
Beautiful. Well, the guys are up the front now, are all closing in on their final laps. Let's stick with Mr. Snell for a minute as he comes in through the closing stages of his lap, through that treacherous 130R now. We'll hop on board with Mr. Snell as he closes out. Let's see what, get rid of that, do this one. Let's see what he does. He's after a 24.3 of Cat, who's got the fastest lap so far. Although it's been taken by Witten. Oh, and Cat's got it back with a 23. No, nothing. No good for Snell there. What's Gorkrotcher done? He's done it with a 23.5. That's outstanding around here. Anything in the 23s on the two-lap qualifying is remarkable, Corey. Let me tell you from first-hand experience. And not only have we got one in there, as we see Gourlay jump up to the P2. Now, if I can just find the camera angle, it'd be great if someone was still out on track. We see Grebstad now pulling up after his lap. But we've got the top 6 cars now in the 23s, which is remarkable as they close out quali. Let's grab the grid. We have a big field to get through. Tim Gorkrotcher returning to Sunday Night Lights in a big way for the Top Split Racing team with a 23.5. That's incredible. P2 went to Sasha Gourlay, the first of the Redface Racing Team drivers. P3 went to UK&I's Anthony Catt. P4, the first of the Team Milo drivers in Luke Witt. P5, the other Redface Racing driver in Julian O'Fray, followed by the first of the Flying Finns and Team of Ascalepi with the final driver in the 23s. Incredible to see 6 drivers that quick around here in quali. P7 went to last season's winner, Sammy Toykala, representing Team Milo, of course. John Scholes, what a fantastic qualifying time from John Scholes, also representing Team Milo. Ben Snell in P9, the 4th of the Team Milo drivers. Brenton Hobson, we were talking about previously for Synergy Sim Racing, in P10. P11, the UK&I's Lee Anderson. P9, I beg your pardon, car number 9 in P12, Håkon Grebstad from Team Ovaltine. Going over the page, Mitchell McLeod for Torque Inc. In P13, P14, Samuel Collins from ANZ. P15, Gustavo Conde, the only Iberian in the top 15. Kevin Henderson from ANZ, of course. Last of the Team Milo drivers, Mr. Russell Clark in P17. Alpine Geodesic Racing, Dennis Johansson failing to set a time in P18, as was Iberia's Egovitz Ballard and Finnish driver Patrick Saxon in P20. Strength of field tonight, as you said, Corey, 4,069 as the drivers get ready to take the grid. About
the race starts.
Thank you, Sodi. About 20 seconds remaining, 15 as I speak right now. Who's your pick for tonight, Corey? A quick one.
It's going to be very hard, but it's very hard to pick anywhere between Julian Alfray and Sasha Gourlay. They have been absolutely on pace the entire season so far, Alex.
Yeah, well, our own Tim Gorkrotcher on pole could be one to watch, as well as the revs start to rise as the red flag is raised and the green drops, and we are away on the first of 11 laps around this famous Suzuka circuit. Of course, half the field streaming over to cover the inside on the approach to the first turn here. Very, very tricky set of circumstances here on cold tyres. The tyre model here really stretching the skills of these drivers as they go 2 by 2 well into the pack. Oh, we've lost one in the rear of the custom round. Looked like Grebstad potentially. I caught a glimpse of there, but the rest of the field looking to get through okay. Oh, Mitchell McLeod, he's coming through, charging through. He's known to have a good start here. Was that Hobbo? No, it was Hobson, I beg your pardon. With McLeod tucked in right behind him, so they're going 2 by 2 still through the early stages of the S's and exiting out on the run out to the Degners. I tell you what, it'd be a brave man, Corey, that goes through the Degners first time. 2 wide, let me tell you.
Oh, definitely, Alex. That is absolutely crazy action there from both Brenton and from Mitchell McLeod there. And I can confirm it was
Whoa, we lost one around the car 19 of, who was that, John Skoltz, into the wall on the exit of the second Degner. That'll cost him dearly, of course. Sorry, Corey, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was seeing something else in the background as well. Looks like Gustavo Conde had a little bit of a trouble as well on the previous corner. But yeah, it was indeed Mr. Grebson that spun in the second corner there, Alex, I can confirm. But the driver's now streaming through up towards 130, towards the spoon, sorry. And Tim Gorkrotcher is still holding on to the lead right now, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Gorkrocha leading him through the first time as they head through Spoon. Now he's got Gourlay right up his tail as they come down this back straight for the first time. He's got the inside running into 130R, another place where you would have to be crazy to go through on the first couple of laps, let me tell you. Although it looks like Cat almost wanting to make it 3 wide. No, tucks in behind. Is there anyone brave enough to go 2 by 2 there? Almost. Toykala and Vascalampi deciding better off it with Snell. Tucked in behind. He's already, how many spots he have already? Just the one. It's pretty, oh, the rear's gone round on the 12 car into there. That had to be Witten. How did everyone get through there? We're going to have to get a replay of that for sure. He's dropping so far down the order. I'm struggling to find him. Let's go grab a replay of what that looked like. I can't believe no one hit him. Quite honestly, he's run wide at a 130R. He's come in to the corner. The rear's let go. He's just spliced through them and no contact, no nothing. The rear of the car's just gone round and everyone's lived or living to fight another day, Corey.
Yeah, we also had a little bit of action coming out of the spoon curve there as well, Alex. Mitchell McLeod went for a big dive up the inside of Brenton Hobson, and they've made contact in the second part of the spoon as well. And it looks like Hobbo is actually in the pits at the moment getting some repairs done, and Mitchell McLeod has dropped all the way back down to P12.
Yeah, I can see Hobson coming out of the pits. Tell you what, he doesn't get much joy out of these Sunday night races, but we do enjoy seeing him line up for the challenge. As we see up front now, with a 1.2 second gap over P3, you've got Gourlay leading from Gorkrocha as they head through the second of the Degners now. And then there's a hard charging pack that's been split perhaps by that spin from Witten on the closing stages of lap 1. You've got a 1.1 second gap between Gorkrocha and P2 and Toykala now leading the charging pack behind them, trying to chase them down to the 1 second. So I don't think they're going to get away at this stage, Corey.
Now, it's definitely going to be very hard for these two at the front to pull away from this second pack. But as long as they don't put a foot wrong, and maybe if Sammy J. Toykala makes a mistake or Julian Alfred decides to battle Sammy J a little bit here, we could see them start to grow that gap a little bit, Alex.
Well, no, it's down to about 0.8, so they should close up quite a bit. It depends on how settled O'Fray is behind Toykala up here. Is he going to have a look? Yes, he is. Toykala actually leaving the door wide open. What will Cat do now? Will Cat try and follow through? No, he's lifted and Toykala falls back into line. That actually cost them, if you can believe it. That cost them 3/10 as we see Toykala running wide there through 130R. Very treacherous through there. You're often better just to let it swing out. Let the car sing out wide and bring it back on into line just to save the car any further damage, so to speak, as Toykala now settling in behind O'Fray. But up front, once again, it is Gourlay leading Gorkrocha. About a second now to O'Fray in P3 as Gorkrocha makes the move up the inside. Turn one of the better passing opportunities around here, Corey.
Yeah, it definitely is, Alex. It's also one of the easier places to make a move. With this front straight being so long, the draft definitely does come into play. It hasn't usually been in play as much this season, but it's definitely in play here. And these guys are definitely fighting it out pretty hard for this lead right now, Alex. It's going to be interesting to see if they can extend this gap, but I don't think they will because Alfray is now the driver right behind them, and we know that he's quick, and when he hooks up with his teammate Sasha Gourlay, there's almost no one that can beat them, Alex.
No, that's right. Just stringing out to about 8/10 now is the gap as they head towards the Degners once again on the early stages lap 3 now. The kink right hand of the first Degner, then into the second or third, depending on your preference through there. If you want the extra rotation or you have to pick up the gas a bit later, although it is a fairly decent straight afterwards, or at least a flat out run, if not a straight. So preferences vary as we see Gorkrocha running wide there. O'Fray tempted to have a look up the inside of the exit of the hairpin there, but thinking better of it. But O'Fray now just the half a second behind, leading the hard charging pack that goes all the way down to Ben Snell in P7, although he's now looks like he's struggling to hang on here at 7/10. Difficult to make up that sort of gap with the freight train in front of him, not getting the full advantage of the draft as those in front of him will be. The two red-faced racing cars sitting up the front, a very familiar sight this season, Corey. sitting in second and third with the unfamiliar side of Gorkrotcher, simply because he hasn't been on the track. Leading them out as Gourlay now looking up the inside on the approach to 130R, just pulls back into line, suggesting Gorkrotcher lifted a fraction. Everyone racing pretty smart in the early stages, Corey.
Indeed they are, Alex, and I was just having a quick little look back through the replays. We've lost Kevin Henderson. He ran wide on the second Degner there and had a little bit of contact with Torkinks, Mitchell McLeod there. Unfortunately, it looks like it broke Kevin's right rear, and in the hairpin, he just went spitting off into the gravel trap. But now we have a three-car battle for the lead. Our Frey going out very wide there to try and null the effect of the draft a little bit. Tim Gorkrotcher, though, looking to make the move as we go into turn one, and he gets the move made quite easily. And I also see a looming Anthony Catt there sitting in fourth now, Alex.
Yeah, Catt looking to get right in amongst it now, just a half second behind as we see this pack really extending now all the way down to Vascalampi, and it is, in fact, Snell struggling to hang on. Doesn't look like he's got any particular damage, just perhaps struggling as that freight train cuts a massive hole in the air, but he's just not able to take advantage of it. So 1.1 seconds behind. Meanwhile, up front, we've still got Gorkrotcher out in front of the two red-face racing teams, with Catt in fourth and Toy Carla, the leading Team Milo driver, in P5 with his Finnish compatriot in P6, Teemu Vascalampi. Dennis Johansson, car number 7 here tonight. The Team Geodesic Racer is up 9 positions, well known for cutting through a field of low strength of field race, I should say. But tonight, having to his money, really earn his money, and his work is cut out for him as he exits the hairpin now on the mid stages of lap 4, just ahead of Samuel Collins and Mitchell McLeod. He's up 9 positions in this sort of field is incredible, but I reckon he'll be struggling to join that front pack, Corey.
Yeah, he will, Alex, unless he can maybe try and get himself hooked up with Lee Anderson, who is in a little bit of no man's land himself, just stuck in a bit of null space, about a second and a half behind Ben Snell and in front of Dennis. That pretty pink car is there in plain view, but it just doesn't look like it's got any pace either at the moment, Alex, without having any drafting help.
Yeah, that's right. Snell's last lap with a bit of draft was 23.7, 24.2 for Anderson, so probably struggling at that point. But interesting to see how, as we see Snell in front running very wide again. Exit stage right on the exit of 130R. Now 1.8 seconds behind that leading pack. Speaking of the leading pack, there's been a change up the front. Gorkrotcher now sitting in P3 behind the two red-faced racing boys. What a strong team they've turned out to be this season, as we see O'Fray pull out to the inside to cover off. And another spot. Catt goes past Gorkrotcher into turn 1 as we reach the mid stages of this race now. Lap 5 of 11. And we see Gorkrotcher down in P4 after leading so many laps to this point. What is going on for him from here out? Just jumping back a bit further in our field, we've got a pack here with Grebstad down in P12 here. He's about where he started. He's got a hard battle on his hand with Egoitz Ballard, Patrick Saxon and Russell Clark, the Team Milo driver there. This battle pack of 4, they'll be having fun, no doubt, but all the while wishing they were a bit further up the front, I am sure. Jumping back up to the front, and it is the two red-faced racing boys kicking it out through the first Degner, now down into the second Degner, getting it done, as always, on the run into the hairpin, Corey.
Indeed it is, Alex, and I'm so glad that they've got different colour rims, because it makes it so much easier for us to be able to call out which one is which. Obviously, you can see Sasha Gourlay out there in the lead, representing the black rims, and Julian Alfray sitting close behind him in P2 with the white rims. These guys have just been absolutely stunning this season. As you said, it's a surprise to see how strong of a team they have been, and this just goes to show it. Neither of them were right up towards the front together, and as I said, as soon as they got hooked up behind Timmy G there, they've just powered through and they've taken away the lead. And it's going to be hard to upset the balance that they're going to start to store here in the race, Alex.
Tell you what, everyone doing anything and everything that they can on the exit of Spoon there to maximise the run down this enormous straight on the approach to 130R, of course. The two red-faced racing boys making it easy to leapfrog, but the guys behind taking just as much advantage in Cat and Gorkrotcher. Toykala and Vascalampi just once again patiently waiting their time as they come into the Casio triangle for the tail end of lap 5. It's a long lap around here. It's a full GP layout, of course. These guys doing it in a tick under 2:23. We just had a 2:23.1 from Sasha Gourlay. I tell you what, with draft around here, they'll duck into the 22s before the night's over. But as those of you who've raced around here will know, that is lightning fast in one of these cars, Corey.
Indeed it is, Alex, and in saying that, Anthony Cat with a 2:22.7 in the draft, that's nothing to sneeze at either. That is absolutely flying. But I'm just having a quick little look behind the leading pack here. It looks like Lee Anderson has started to close in on Ben Snell, so maybe these two can get hooked up and try and get onto the back of that pack, Alex.
Well, he's now in Snell's draft. He's about half a second behind with a 22.9 last lap. He's right in amongst it. Snell, of his own volition, no draft there, did a 23.8, so he's got some pace as well, but certainly not enough to to bridge that gap now, as they sit about 2.3 seconds behind that opening pack there. Dennis Johansson similarly is now 2.3 seconds behind that pair, with Collins just hanging on to his draft. Grebstad in that battle with McLeod, Ballard, Clark. Well, Clark's dropped off that one actually. It's now just Grebstad, McLeod and Ballard. They're running in a pack there, trying to have a race amongst themselves for that final Sunday Night Lights point scoring position in P12. The rest of the field now spread out, although you've got Clark in a battle with his Team Milo teammate Witten and Patrick Saxon, newcomer to Sunday Night Lights here tonight, all the way back down there. And that little gap, or that little pack, I should say, rounded out by Gustavo Conde. Meanwhile, back up the front, it's still a battle of 6 cars ending in Vascalampi as they head up towards 130R on the later stages of lap 6, Corey.
And now we're looking like we're starting to get a battle. Anthony Cat trying to go around the outside of Julian Alfred before the entry into 130R. I saw Sasha Gourlay just sneakily go down to the inside to try and give his teammate the draft assistance. So Anthony couldn't get that move made. Looks like Anthony has managed to stay back in third. So the strategy is definitely in play here between the two red-faced racing drivers there, Alex.
Tell you what, as we're up on board with Gorkrotcher, that was the epitome of great racing there. You saw 2x2 through 130R, not one of them running wide. It was Cat and O'Fray, who, as we see Gorkrotcher pulling out of draft there. We might hop on board with Cat, who's right up in amongst those red-faced racing boys. He, we see take that slightly better angle there. Side by side they go through the first turn. Oh, there's a bit of phantom contact now as they head into the S's. Oh, Cat, he wants this position and he wants it badly. As we go back outside now, we can see the two of them going side by side through the S's. Was fantastic drive. I'll tell you what, Cat, he has worked really hard to get there. Now, what can he do with it? We saw this last week and Gourlay ran away with it. His teammate cleaning up the scraps for the podium positions, but once he had the break, he got away with it. But I tell you what, that is fantastic driving from all concerned. Cat really earning his money there, getting up to P2 and wanting to have a shot at the lead, Corey.
Yeah, it's not easy to stick around the outside in that first corner with it being that real tricky double apex right-hander, but he's definitely done it. And so to speak, he's put the Cat amongst the pigeons. It looks like he's going to be absolutely hounding Gourlay for this entire lap. We'll see what kind of a run he can get coming out of the hairpin here. Maybe he can make a move before Spoon, although that wouldn't be advisable. Although he is pulling out to the wide side there. Looks like it's just to gain a little bit of a gap there. So maybe he can get a bit of draft on the exit of Spoon on the straightaway to go down to 130R. But these guys are absolutely putting on a show right now. But they should be, with it being only about 3 1/4 laps left to run in this one, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. All of them again maximising the exit. Beautiful use of the track there through Spoon and the exit of it on the run up the straight. Again, we see Cat pull to the inside on the approach to 130R. Looks like he's going to get it done. It looks like Gourlay will let him have the line and keep the speed going there. For the first time in a long time, it is not a red-faced racing team member leading as Cat pulls over to take the racing line, although He's forced to make a little bit of a defensive move there. Not
Oh, there's
confident.
contact behind him, Alex.
Who we
Sorry.
lost? No, you're right, mate. It's Gorecrotcher. Gorecrotcher's around. Let's go grab a replay of that. Let's see what happened here. So we hop on board with Gorecrotcher now.
There's Gorecrotcher and Alfred coming into the Casio triangle there, Alex.
Yeah. Oh, and he's just had a look there, and oh, that's not gonna work, is it? It's not gonna give me the view that I want. I've got the wrong side of his head. It's just not going there. But that looks terrible. Let's go and grab a different angle on that and see what we can see with Gorecrotcher. Now, as he comes in, it's all to play in front of him. They've gone a couple wide in front. He's poked the nose up the inside. It's just not the room there, and he's caught the rear of O'Fray there, and unfortunately then got a bit of grass and spun it round in front of the remainder of the cars coming through, and that's really upset the apple cart and cost him plenty of positions in the process, Corey.
Yeah, and we've also actually lost Mitchell McLeod as well, Alex. Coming into the hairpin, it looks like he got a tap from behind by Ballard, and he got collected by one of the Milo cars on the way through as well. So unfortunate news there as well for our Oz NZ contingent. We've lost a couple of them through some crashes. In fact, our 16th down to 20th is all Oz NZ at the moment, with people having a few issues. Russell Clark's down there as well, but I'm not sure what's happened to him. I think he might have gotten involved with Mitch McLeod there. But back up the front, Anthony Catt and Sasha Gourlay are running away with this one now, Alex. They've got a huge gap over the third place Sammy J. Toykala.
Yeah, absolutely. Toykala now 1.9 seconds, and in a battle with his Finnish compatriot, team of Vascalampias, they are playing leapfrogs up the back straight. Of course, we've got just the 3 laps to go when they cross the line this time. And behind them, you've got Anderson and Snell fighting. Oh, I tell you what, that's how you use the track, folks. The rear of the car, or the right-hand side of the car on the grass. Look at that run from Snell through 130R. Beautiful pace through there to get it done. Meanwhile, back up front, we have, as you say, Cat and Gourlay. Gourlay and Cat, P1 and 2 respectively. They are making those cars sing. A 23 dead for Cat last lap round. I think that's pretty close. 22 mids are the pace that you want to get based on the track conditions here tonight. As we see Grebstad now in the pits. Word is he is short on fuel, forgetting to refuel after the quali run here tonight. Shame for Grebstad. As we see now, Cat and Gourlay get inside each other's helmets now, thinking of strategies about how they're going to play out that last lap. The herd's been thinned out. It's down to these two, Corey. Who's your money on?
Again, Alex, I can't go past the red-faced racing car of Sasha Gourlay. They've just been too strong this season. Even though Cat has the pace, I think Gourlay might have his number in this one.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, between the two of them, they've had every race sewn up this season so far, and it looks like they've got the great opportunity to make it 4 from 4. Vascalampi and Toykala now chasing them through the diggers. Vascalampi, oh, he's run wide.
No.
He's collected the wall on the exit of the second dig now, and he's parked it on the exit there. Tragedy for Vascalampi. He's had a tough season already. Let's go and grab a quick look at what happened there. It looked like on the approach to the Degners there, we're a bit too far out there, but let's hop on board with him. And he's coming up to the first Degner, no problems. Second Degner, he's run a bit wide, the car's got a bit loose, and he's just carried too much speed, and then the wall, and that's all she wrote, folks, unfortunately. So bad luck for Vascalampi. As we jump back up the front now, of course, we have our two leaders in Gourlay and Cat once again heading to 130R for 2 laps to go as they cross the line this time, as they head down to the Casio triangle once more. This final chicane, very challenging, but very promising. If you get a good run out of it, you can lead it to the line, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. It's all about how you can utilize the grip that you have available to you And it looks like Anthony Cat is definitely utilizing it right now, going for the big inside pass on Sasha Gourlay right now. These guys are going to be putting everything on the table for these last couple of laps. Um, I think Anthony might actually let Sasha go by him on the run out of Spoon this time by, just so he can get this inside run on him again coming into the first turn for the final lap. That would be the best case scenario for him because you can defend on that back straight going into 130R, but it's hard to defend on that front straight, Alex.
Yeah, potentially. It's all going to be in the heads of the drivers now, how they want to play it. These guys have all to play for, of course, as you can just see the rotation these guys are getting. Cars a lot slippier this season on the smooth Suzuka layout. Of course, this layout, one of the only three, we've said it before, only one of three tracks that crosses over in a figure of eight with a bridge. The other ones being Motegi and our own Oran Park, of course. But the very slippery circuit, as it's known to be here in Japan, not really having the camber working for you in a lot of places, although here in the hairpin, of course, get a nice tight angle and the camber works very hard for you. Get on the gas early as you head out of there down the long run on and into Spoon. Hitting fifth gear by the time you get there, but you're right, Corey. These guys will be in each other's heads, seeing what they can do to win this, take this one out by the end. 2.5 seconds or 2.8 seconds behind now. We've got Toyakala running a lone soldier race with the top five. Now, look at this. You've got Anderson. What's Snell done? Snell's picked up some damage somewhere. The rear of his car is looking decidedly second-hand. We'll hear more about that in the post-race interviews, no doubt. But meanwhile, for the penultimate time now, they're running through 130R. And does Gourlay make the move? No, he does not. He is going to let Cat lead this one out. Does he make the run into the Casio triangle? The answer looks to be no, as we see Cat running very wide. Has he hung on to it? Yes, he has. He's defended the inside line into Casio. And the roles are reversed this time, Corey. It'll be Gourlay looking to make the move into the first corner.
Well, as I said, it's going to be very hard to defend on this front straight. So hopefully Anthony does what he can to try and hold on to this position. And I do have more information on what happened to Ben Snell. It looks like DJ went a little bit too deep into the hairpin and just gave him a little bit of a tag in the back, which also upset Lee Anderson a little bit going into it. So unfortunate news there for those guys who are running fifth and sixth. But that's good news for Samuel Collins, who's worked his way up into fifth as we go through the S's here for the final time, Alex. It's going to be all to play for here. Gourlay is going to look for any advantage that he can get. And we're probably going to see him run wide in a couple of corners here to try and get a little bit of an extra momentum advantage.
Yeah, quite possibly, but he'll probably save that up for the later stages. He looks like he's put all his eggs in that one basket of the run up into 130R. The question is, can Cat defend it? Will he take the inside or the outside line? Plenty of run up on the outside, of course, and it does set you up for the inside run as I head through the Degners now. It sets you up for the inside run into the entry to the Casio triangle, but there again, do you want the inside to the first part of that chicane or the second part? The question is in the heads and the minds of these two drivers here tonight. We might hop on board Mr. Gourlay now. One of your race winners already this season as we run down this long sweeping section on the approach to Spoon. Of course, this section, get up into fifth gear as you hear him hit now. You see the service road on the right is about where you're looking to lift. You're down into third gear. Will he grab second to get the rotation? No, he stays in third. He wants the long gear on the exit there. Now into fourth. Looks like he's got the run okay. What can he do from here? He pulls out to the inside. Cat does not defend the inside of 130R, seeking rather to grab the inside run into the final chicane now. Does he have the legs to make it 2x2? Oh, I tell you what. I don't know if the spotter gave the clear call there, but it is Gourlay who's going to have the final say here tonight. There's no way that Cat can carry the speed. Oh, he's going to give it a go, though. But too compromised is his line through there to get anything done. It is Gourlay continuing the success of the Redface Racing team here tonight, taking out the round four, I should say, of the Sunday Night Lights. Toyakala in third. Anderson now crossing the line. with Collins looking to round out your top five. Dennis Johansson and Gorkrocher fighting it out for some minor positions there as we see the 14 car of Gustavo Conde, is it? Yes, crossing the line. Luke Whitten in P8 there. So they're all sorting out the stragglers at the moment in this massive field. What sort of a finish was that then, Corey?
That was absolutely crazy, Alex. Some late race drama there in the mid pack area, and a very interesting run to the line there between our two leaders. It was a great race, all in all, on what is a very tricky GP layout here. As I think we've only got just a couple of cars left to come across the track in Ballard and Russell Clark. But yeah, awesome racing all round, from my opinion.
Yeah, mate, they got it done there. I tell you what, Goulet was a little cheeky through 130. I thought just perhaps cutting the nose off, but I don't know if he would have got the spotter's call, as I said. But still, that's one for the barroom conversations after, I would suspect. As everyone crossed the line, I see Clark still out there, just waiting to tick over to see that yeah, I think everyone might. No, Clark still waiting to cross the line.
Yeah, he's just coming out of the Casio Triangle now, Alex.
Yeah, but look at that. He's going to get the final point scoring position, is he? No, P13. No, P16 as the results shake out as the Team Milo driver crosses the line now. Let's go through your final results for round four from Suzuka International Racing Course here for Sunday Night Lights. P1 went to Redface Racing Team's Sasha Gourlay once again taking out the top spot on the dais, followed by Anthony Catt. I think that's about his best result here at a Sunday Night Lights. He's been a regular here for us, the UK&I driver, and grabbing second spot on the podium. Handy haul of points in Sunday Night Lights and the official season. Some 225 points for the official, nothing to sneeze at there. Sammy Toikala once again showing great patience and even greater avoided skills there to finish in P3, some 2.5 seconds behind. Behind him in P4 was UK&I's Lee Anderson, followed by in P5 the first of the ANZ drivers, Mr. Samuel Collins. Congratulations to him. I think that's his best result in a while too. Followed then by Alpine Geodesic Racing's Dennis Johansson in P6. Tim Gorkrocher, our pole sitter, representing Top Split Racing Team, had quite the eventful race from first back down, well down the order, all the way back to P7 tonight. Fantastic effort from Tim in amongst the adventure tonight. P8 went to Team Milo's Luke Whitten. P9 went to the leading Iberian tonight here, Gustavo Conde. P10 went to newcomer to SNL here, Patrick Saxon from Finland. The third Finnish driver here tonight, of course, in P11, car number 11, Mr. Timu Bascalampi. Julian O'Fray, after that late race incident, ending up in all the way down in P12 for Red Face Racing. Expect to see him higher up the order next week. P13, as we head over the page, went to Håkon Grebstad from Team Ovaltine. P14, Mr. Brenton Hobson representing Synergy Sim Racing. Keep an eye out for Hobson in the esports series around the traps, no doubt. Putting on a better showing there tonight. Unfortunately, caught up in incidents not of his own making tonight. P15 went to the remaining Iberian in the field, Mr. Egowitz Ballard. P16 went to Team Milo's own Russell Clark. P17, the other Team Milo driver in Ben Snell, again getting caught up in an incident not of his own making. Mitch McLeod for Talk Inc. Not his best result in a while. He's had some good ones this season, but hopefully bigger and better next week for Mitchell. ANZ's own Kevin Henderson in P19 tonight. And the final Team Milo driver retired here tonight early by the looks, unfortunately, was John Scholes. Strength of field, as we said, was 4,069 with the fastest lap. Well, the fastest lap without an incident point, at least, at a 2:22.8, went to Egowitz Ballard, keeping his nose clean by the looks of it, Corey.
Yeah, crazy race all in all. Very unfortunate race for our Oz and Z contingent. being 14th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th being our worst finishes there. But still not so bad with Samuel Collins coming up for a surprise fifth place. I think that's his best finish in an SL race too. So yeah, crazy racing, and I think we've got a couple of people down in the waiting room waiting to talk to us, Alex.
Yes, we do. I'm just trying to pick the order here. I think it's going to be Snell first. So we'll bring Mr. Snell up and just where can I find him on the board? There we go. Ben Snell. Not the race you were looking
Hello.
for there, mate. Didn't qualify that well. And then tell us about the incident. We didn't catch it on camera, but it sounds like DJ or Johansson coming through the field might have upset the apple cart, so to speak.
I qualified about where I should have qualified. To be honest, I don't have I have good pace here, but especially in the race, qualifying not so much. So I was happy with my qualifying. It was good enough kind of thing, and I picked up a couple of spots at the start. And then, unfortunately, it was all good fun and games. And then I dropped the lead pack and started falling back into Lee Anderson's hands. And then he caught me, and I played nice with Lee, just trying to move those so DJ wouldn't catch us. And then DJ caught us. And then coming into the hairpin, DJ just I don't know, missed his braking mark or something. Just gave me a bit of a love tap in the rear and broke my wing. And then unfortunately, coming into the Casio triangle after that, I had damage and I got tagged again, and it broke the rear suspension of my car. And that's unfortunately when I decided to pull the pin.
That's a shame, mate. But yeah, look, it looks like you did cut a bit of a swathe through the start there. We're just having a look at it now. A lot of cars in the rear view mirror by the looks of it. How's the racing overall here been for you at Suzuka this week?
Racing has been super enjoyable. I've had some decent results, which is nice. The short technical tracks that we had at the start of the season really don't suit me. I'm much better on faster, more flowy tracks like this. So I've had an enjoyable week, and it's just a typical SNL race that's finished it off of my season so far.
Yeah, mate. Look, you looking on to such a good result, and then unfortunately the castle came crashing down. But hopefully, we'll see bigger and better from you in the weeks to come, mate. Thank you once again for your ongoing support of the series. And those of you who don't know, check out Ben's stream, Snellovision, where you have a good time and you get to see the bearded warrior himself these days, or the bearded bogan. So it's great to see you out on track, mate. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Of course, as always, you guys are putting on the broadcast. I got to watch the last half a lap live, which was really nice to, to see. A fantastic job that you guys put on always. Of course, yeah, go check out twitch.tv/Snellovision if you want to see what's going on in my world in terms of racing. It's mostly skippies with a smattering of me losing iRating and pretty much every other car. And of course, big shout out to Team Milo. We had 5 cars in the top split today. I think we had 3 of them in the in the back.
Yeah,
At the
mate,
end.
it was pretty busy out there, full of green clad cars, that's for sure. But great to see such good support of the series from a great bunch of blokes. So thank you and your team for joining us here tonight. And don't forget, folks, check out Snellovision on Twitch. It's a good fun night out. Thanks again, Ben, and we look forward to talking to you in the coming weeks, mate.
Catch you guys.
There you go, Corey. That was Mr. Snellovision himself, Ben Snell. Great to see Ben out there. He enjoys his racing one way or the other. Big grin on his face. Now we get to see it on the stream.
Yeah, exactly. It's great to see the bearded bogan himself on his stream. Unfortunate result for him tonight. Just caught up by DJ going a little bit too deep. That's Dennis Johansson for those who aren't in the know. So yeah, unfortunate circumstances there for Ben. Hopefully next week he'll be able to bounce back bigger and better.
Yeah, absolutely. Just bringing up our next person tonight is Mr. Hawkon Grebstad representing Team Ovaltine. Of course, Hawkon, not the night you were hoping
Good
for, I'm
day.
sure, as well.
No, not at all. The daylight savings thing kind of screwed me over a little bit. Like I woke up 15 minutes before the practice race, the race before this, and yeah, I just didn't have practice. And yeah, I just don't have any pace in the skippy anymore. I've just lost it.
Yeah, mate, it's tough. You got to put some miles in these cars this season just to get the handle of it, and they can otherwise prove quite a tough mistress to tame. But certainly the change in daylight savings maybe caught a few people out, although we still had a bumper crop of people out there to race with. So hopefully you found some enjoyment in it at least.
Oh yeah, it wasn't too bad, but I was kind of driving my own race with myself most of the race anyway. So
Yeah, there you
yeah,
go.
and
Or sorry.
I forgot to go to race fuel as well, so I had to pit for fuel, so that was fun.
Yeah, that doesn't always work out to be the best plan, does it? So that's a shame for you
Yeah.
tonight, mate. But look, hopefully bigger and better things for you in the coming weeks. Anyone like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Oh, I just gotta thank you guys for doing this as always.
Thanks, mate, and we'll hopefully see you on track in the weeks to come.
Probably, yeah. Thanks, guys.
There you go, Corey, Mr. Grebstad, back out on track. Good to see him out there once again, representing Team Ovaltine.
Yeah, exactly, Alex. And it's so hard to hear him being so hard on himself with the lack of practice and all that. Hopefully, like we've seen him have some good results in the very recent past, so hopefully he can get back to those kinds of results soon. But as you said, you really need to do quite a bit of miles to be quick in these cars. Even though Brenton Hobson's a little bit of an alien and can be just fast in just about anything, even he's not up to the point of where he could be running at the front of these fields consistently. So yeah, it's hard to be fast in these cars, Alex, and hopefully Grabo can get his groove back into getting fast again.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. This is quite a unique car these days. It's a tough, as I said, a tough mistress to tame with the new tyre model and all that goes with that, plus the changes to the aero package as well. Our final driver up here tonight is frantically typing away. I don't know if he's getting into some or what. Is Mr. Timu Vascalampi. Great to see you back out on track there, Timu, but not the result you were chasing.
Yeah, hello, Alex. Um, yeah, yeah, but I don't mind. I think I had a chance to catch the leaders if I used all possible off tracks and so on. But well, push it a bit too much. We were just with Sami. We were just chilling out at the end of the lead back first lap. But then there's some crashes happened, and there was a bit of a gap to the front. And Sami said that he can't catch them, so I decided to try to use everything I can to catch them. But okay, that didn't work out.
Yeah, mate. Unfortunate end to your race there, of course. But like I said, mate, it's great to see you back out on track, and hopefully there'll be more of it for you and more enjoyment for you in the coming weeks. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, mate, before we let you go?
You people, of course, for broadcasting this.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. I really appreciate it, mate. And like I said, I hope we see you on track in the remainder of the season.
Yeah, sure, I will be there.
There you go, Corey. That's it for the interviews there. Of course, Mr. Vascalampi joining us from Finland. He's had his ups and downs with the Skippy love affair in the last couple of seasons, but good to see him back out there on track.
Oh, 100%, Alex. It's awesome to see Vascalampi on track. He's always one of the faster guys that we have. And unfortunate race for him as well. It seems that we've had all the unfortunate cases coming for interviews today. Unfortunately, no guts and glories to talk about. But at the end of the day, I really do appreciate everyone coming out and supporting us in this venture of the top split racing here at Sunday Night Lights. And it can only help to grow our community.
And that's the name of the game, Corey. This is why we do it, to bring a shine of light, as it were, on the Skip Arbor series, which is a lot of fun. It's one of the most popular series going around with the iRacing service, and why not showcase some of the talent that's on offer? And that's the name of the game, as we say. But tonight, folks, that might do us. Thank you, one and all, for joining us. You can, of course, find us at all the places on your screen at the moment. The race replay and live, actually, on the Top Split YouTube channel, of course. And we will be here on Twitch each and every week at the same time. Corey, tell the folks at home where they can find you during the week.
You guys can find me at twitch.tv/Corey has no life 13. We will put up an explicit content warning. I do say some pretty fruitful things. And while I have the mic, I also just want to say, guys, go and support Brenton Hobson in his esports endeavors as well. They got the Bathurst 250 coming up this week, so go and watch it on Fox Sports. I think there's going to be a YouTube stream and a Twitch stream as well. So make sure you go check those out and support our Brenton Hobson as he takes on the best in Australia in the V8 Supercars.
Yeah, absolutely. Another great light shining, I should say, on our great esport. And it's fantastic to see it getting such mainstream coverage as well. But for now, folks, like I said, everywhere you can join us, the Discord server is where we do the broadcast from and the interviews. Check out the podcast at thetopsplit.com, and also actually the first video edition of the podcast, episode 25, up on the YouTube channel, of course. And Top Split TV is where you will find me doing my own racing and each and every week here for the Sunday Night Lights broadcast. But for now, folks, that'll do us. Thank you once again for joining us here. We really do appreciate the support. Hit like, subscribe, thumbs up, all those things in all those different places. It really does help us out. But until next time, folks, on behalf of the chaotic one himself, Corey Steinhauser, I've been your host, Alex McKellar. And until next time, ciao for now.